right now I'm actually in the process of making another short film for my Film 2 class. And it's very interesting because this is one of the scripts where I'm sharing my personal life. So the script is basically about a granddaughter and her relationship with her grandfather's passing. And so a lot of what that story has to revolve around does have to do with my own culture, my own Vietnamese culture. And growing up, I never really felt like there was a big place for me to share my own stories and my own experience just because I never saw it on screen. And so it's funny how every time I write a story that is relevant to my own experience, a part of me subconsciously wonders, is this worth, does it matter telling to other people? And I kind of have to fight that hurdle to think my experiences are just as valid as everyone else. And this is a story worth telling about. And with that particular story, it talks about how to grieve, and it talks about the specific way in Eastern culture, how we specifically grieve, the traditions and customs, which may not be typically seen in American culture. And although it's different per se, it's not to say that we don't experience the same sort of loss. And that's what I want to share with everyone else.
I don't trust my choices. I don't trust myself with the choices. And I always like fight with myself before I start to do something. I'm not sure that I can be good enough and all this stuff. So it's probably I spent a lot of time with it, with the kind of thinking about it and all this. But after I pass through this like level of pre-production, I would say, because for me it's kind of pre-production to production to pre-production. So I just step on this all these fears, and I just go and do something.
I have such a long, convoluted storyline that I have yet to really tell my complete story. But what I was sharing earlier is a proverb in Arabic, which is "Man kharaj al-alb dakhal al-alb," which means whatever comes from the heart or comes from the soul will go directly into the soul. So just innately, without filter, almost telling one story is so immeasurably important. And I think I've experienced so many film students really focus on all the bells and whistles and all of I'm going to divert into the whole like film storytelling, as far as everyone's focusing on all the toys and all the effects and really not even really thinking about how impactful a story is. I mean, even reflecting on how people are like mad listening to audiobooks and podcasts, and they're listening to stories that are just pure audio, and oftentimes just words, not even sound effects or anything.
Like, in my head, I feel like an expert. And I think that's called the name for it, the Dunning-Kruger effect. You think you're more competent than you actually are. But if I want to be competent at something, I have to be honest with and say, what am I doing today that's actually putting me towards the goal that I want? Have I written anything? I have ideas. I haven't written anything down. I feel like a genius, but I know that I haven't done anything. So I'm glad that we're having this meeting, because now I'm being more honest with myself. I'm going to do something.
Although there are various different ways that we can live our lives, at the end of the day, we are all very human. And it's been a little bit of a struggle for me to really make sure that that message hits home.
Each person has the story, and I know each person maybe wants to be heard, right? And especially in the situations where they need help, where someone just, I don't know, struggling with something. And this is exactly what the story is. So when you go through some complicated situations, and you in the end of it, you kind of figure it out, so you are a winner in this situation. And I know that all life is like filled with all those situations, and each person again went through difficulties. So, and I just want to pay more attention to people who can't say something, and just give them give them voice.
Being an Arab American, I just felt like my story is not anywhere to be seen. And yeah, and so yeah, at one point I had become religious and covered my hair. And like I said, that story wasn't told. So I created a graphic novel, which is completely humorous and showing the very kind of like wild, zany mind that could possibly be found in a woman who covers her hair, you know? And so for me, for a long period of my life, my uh, goal has always been to break stereotypes and contest or challenge people's ways of perceiving anything or anyone, and make people think and think outside of the box.